Yo, what's up guys? Today we're going to be going over the Jayce video again. Previously, the video had a pretty good amount of my mic cutting in and out. It was mostly just because my noise gate, its attack time, release time, whatever, was on a low amount, so it was cutting out before I was finishing my sentences. So this game we're gonna be going against a Jayce. Jayce being one of the harder matchups, one of the more popular matchups right now. We're going to be having a Syndrome mid, Jayne ADC, Lulu support, and a jungle Yasuo. He did start with the Dorn's Blade, which was kind of unlucky, but I gave him a good leash, so that's good. I'm going to be starting out a coin and refillable potion. I'm going to be giving him some extra boxes on blue for if he wants to use them to leash for him. Say this in every video. In lower elo, you probably just want to take your own camp. Recently I've been taking 2 of the small wolves so I can get an early level 2 off the first wave. The reason I stopped doing the complete buff is because the timers on the buffs now are much longer for them to respawn, so I don't want to mess with my junglers clearing that completely. So instead I've been taking small parts of camps. Like I'll take the raptors, 2 or 3 of the raptors, or I'll take the wolves, small wolves. But like I said before, you might want to take a whole camp if you're in lower elo. It might help. Even just wolves might be pretty good too. You might, most of the time lower elo, they'll like smite they'll smite as soon as they start to camp, and your boxes will like take it, and then your jungle is going to be tilted all game. But in higher elo, jungle is a pretty important role. It has so much emphasis on the game. It keeps your game going, and usually the junglers make the tempo of the game. So enough about junglers. We're in top lane. Jayce is one of those harder matchups because if you walk up for the CS, he'll just auto you down, or any good Jayce is going to do that. Ranged champions, in my opinion, aren't as hard as some people think, because they're more likely to walk in boxes that are far away from that are far away, which you can use your Q to gap close in and then get a box off on them. Later I'll talk a little bit more about these situations, but right here you see me get a UCS trade kills, and it's kind of more worth it for me because the wave is pushing to my side. I can TP. It will freeze right here unless he TPs, which I'm pretty sure he does. Yep, there you see his TP. So he blew his flash and TP, which is really good. I don't have my ignite anymore, but we weren't going to be going aggro anyway in this matchup. But in the Jayce matchup, you actually can go aggro. Like I said, I'll talk about that in a little bit. So trying to get as much CS I can on the turret. It's really hard because he can just auto walk away. Those back creeps, I take too much damage if I went up and walked up for them. Right now I should be walking up to CS because he went place that ward. I could have got like 2 or 3, 4 CS while he was away, but that was my mistake. I'm not the greatest at CSing. Mostly it's just my mindset on what I want to do during a game. Usually I want to be somewhere forcing a fight or getting a pick, setting up for picks, taking a dragon, taking objectives. In my mind, I just don't remember to continue to CS, which is pretty bad, but yeah, it does feel good whenever you get those 10 CS per minute games though. So this lane is pretty boring. He's just gonna force me to stay back and wait for him to push the wave back. Zoom in, speed up a little bit. So about this game, I do see that Inferno Drake is up, and that's gonna be pretty important in the mid game, or in the, like, I mean, Inferno is one of those drakes that is super important. I personally think Mountain Drake is more important than Inferno Drake because it can get you really, really fast Barons. Which I personally like the sneak Barons at 20 minutes. It's really, a lot of the time it's really effective because usually their support hasn't thought about warding it at that time. So usually it's free to be taken. So if you get 2 Mountain Drakes somehow in the early game, usually won't get 2 Mountain Drakes by 20 minutes. Maybe you will. Usually if the jungler is doing some good objective control and can get the dragon early, level 4, 5, 6, you might have 2 Mountain Drakes by then. But I do think Mountain Drake is super important. Some people do rather the Infernal Drake for the extra damage, which is still important in late game. When Drake is Cloud Drake, whatever, is pretty meh. It helps a bit. It actually does have some effectiveness because it helps you get back to your lane faster. So it's better in the early game. Late game it's okay for rotations, but I just don't see it being very good. Same with Ocean Drake. It helps you sustain in lane, which I really enjoy too. Because if you're getting poked down in lane, you can just walk back in CS. So right here, the Jayce could walk up into that box, and I could place a box behind him, and I would pretty much get a kill off that. I use my ult so I can clear out the wave a little bit so I can go B. My TP is coming up in 50 seconds. I stopped to place a box so the box buffers the wave for the next wave that's coming up, and my clone was able to take care of most of the CS. So I'm gonna be able to go to back. I'm gonna get my Hexic Revolver most likely. Yep. And gonna go back to lane. Bot lane's doing pretty well, but I do really want that dragon. My TP is coming up. Right now, I probably should start walking down. Here, the Talon gets pretty far into our jungle, so I start walking down because I wanted to go cut him off in the case that was coming back. You see that top lane is pushing up to me. I could catch like 2 waves of CS coming up if I would have walked just straight up. Yasuo died, but the Talon does die. That gives us an opportunity to take dragon. The only bad thing is their jungler's up, ours isn't. We're gonna see Elise coming up at their Raptor soon. Objective control is just super important right now. Dragons, even if it's not one of the worth dragons like Cloud or Ocean, they're still super important because as soon as you get one down, it means another one's coming back up for you to take in 6 minutes. So Elise is gonna try to go on the Syndra. I try to stay out of range. The Syndra's gonna keep on poking the tower. I'm gonna play behind her for the ability to go on her. She doesn't have any raptors because she just took them. She's gonna get chunked pretty far down, and this is where I feel like we can do dragon because their bot lane is about to go back or is about to get pushed back to their turret. So I feel like the bot lane should come and help me get this dragon. A little spoiler, they don't. So I'm here poking down the dragon as AP Shaco the entire time. Yasuo was able to go top and do the 2-3 waves. For some reason they walk up right here, but they don't complete the Drake. I don't understand what they're doing. I guess they think I'm the jungler, or I could see that. They could think that I'm the jungler and that I have smite, and it's pretty much all the way done, dead. But I'm not the jungler, so they don't end up helping. I just soloed a Drake as AP Shaco top. So I end up TPing here because I want to go on the Jayce. I do want to go around. There probably is a ward here, but he is in a good position for me to still gank. He uses flash, which is pretty good for us. And Yasuo got a lot of CS off the few waves that he caught while I was taking dragon. Usually you don't want to do things like that. You don't want to try to take dragon without your jungler. Somehow it worked out though. I did have the knowledge that the Elise was chunked, so she probably wouldn't be going to dragon. I also did dragon without having any wards on it. Wards to red trinket or red control ward, to know if it was clear of wards. So it was pretty bad part of mine, because they could have just walked up and taken it with smite. But yeah, we ended up getting it, which is good. Team is doing pretty well, 8 and 6. The only deaths I have were the trade 1-for-1 in the early game around 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. So this lane, Jayce is one of those champions that snowballs pretty hard and snowballs into the mid game. Jayce isn't very powerful in the late game. He has a really hard power spike in the mid game. So here I want to address this. So if he would go down to ward this, because there's no ward, so if the Jayce would be walking down, I was hoping he would be walking down, let's say that, because I knew the wave was pushing up. I thought he was going to walk up to push with the wave, so I wanted to queue up, get behind him. I would put a box right here to make him want to go down instead of up. It would more like be right here. So I want him to go down and force him into these boxes. Usually they wouldn't go this way. They would go this way because they don't want to go further away from their turret. They want to find the fastest path back to their turret, back to safety. So I think putting a box right here would probably have been better. Playing the clip, you do see that he ends up dying, though. There you go. He's dead. So what happened was he tried to 1v1 the box, and he ended up dying. So I ended up getting the wave pushed up. There is a Talon Mia. I'm really low on mana. I should be going back. I can't 1v1 him. He hits the box, and he's like, fuck this, and he walks away. So I'm able to go back, or at least I should. The Lulu is walking up. I have no mana. I shouldn't be looking to fight this. It would be a very bad idea. But I end up trying to be greedy. So right here, what I think he's going to do is, I thought he was going to be coming back. I didn't think he was actually going to go for the tower. Talon doesn't really have any tower taking capabilities. So usually Talon will split push. Usually he split pushes the lane with no tower. I guess there's none, so he doesn't want to split push any other, so he goes top since Jayce is on the bot side. I thought he was going to go back to mid through that tri-bush, and that's why I put a box there getting ready for him. Ends up he just gets away. Parkour. But they all end up dying bot. I don't have any manas, and it's pretty hard for Shaco to push the wave that's coming up, but I'll still look to get the tower as soon as possible. They're going bot. The only thing there is a tower, since we took the Inferno trick a few minutes ago. Somehow she gets a kill on the Elise 1v1. Probably was low. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this tower, but highly unlikely because I have no mana. Probably gotta go B instead of anything. Yep, he ends up using TP to get back to the top wave to clear it, and I'm gonna be going B so I can get my item. Fast forward a little bit. The jug. Back in top lane. So I see Yasuo is starting to walk top. He's gonna clear out his Gromp, and then I want to look to kill this Jayce that's gonna be top wave and take this top tower. My Q is only level 3, so I didn't have that long duration on my invis. We ended up getting the kill though, which was pretty nice. Now we're able to push top and not have to worry about anything else because there's no tower bot lane. They're pushing up pretty far bot lane, a little overextending, but they do see 3 people top. I'm gonna end up having to use my TP coming up on the bot tower. I should probably use it right now. I do kind of wait a little bit. It's kind of a mistake by me because they could have taken the tower. So I get on the tower almost as it's dying, so I don't have anything to help me fight them 1v2. But she's autoing the clone and tanking autos from my clone. I'm able to pretty much able to 1v2 them. She played that pretty dumb. I have a good bit of damage right now, and she just tanked my clone. He ends up getting away, and I just let him go because dragon's coming up, and they're mid. So as I was saying earlier, you shouldn't do dragon without a smite, and you're about to see why. So if 3 people on dragon, she goes over the dragon. Personally, so whenever someone walks up to dragon like that, in my mind, I'm thinking they're gonna try to execute it with Q smite. I didn't think she was gonna auto it a few times and then smite it, you know. So that's why I tried to burst it as soon as it hit 1000, because at 1000 is usually when the jungler is gonna look to do their execution and smite at the same time. So I tried to contest her on that. We might have been able to kill her, but I didn't want her to get the dragon off of the combination of her Q and smite. It was bad play by me, but in my mind at the time, I thought it was the correct play. I'm gonna go B. So we lost an Infernal. Could have two Infernals. Talon things. And Yasuo wasted flash. Feels bad, man. Just Talon things. They were to get a good 2-on-3 off. Ooh, damn. So I wanted to go in on that. I would have gone in that if the Jayce didn't show up. Jayce could pretty much instantly burst me, so I just backed off of it. That was pretty unlucky from the team. Syndra is pushing bottom. Here I do mess up. So the guy with most of their CC is the Thresh. Since he saw me go over and saw me going on the Sivir, he's able to easily line up a Q going up. I should have put that box between me and him instead of up here. That was a misplay by me. But we're gonna watch it through and watch me die. Yeah, I should have. He didn't end up queuing. He was just Eing. Then he hit his Q. I should have gone on him because I would have killed him 100%. If I would have focused him instead of her. You can see that how much HP I did to him because he was like half HP, yeah, or 1/3, whatever. I'd have been able to kill him. Probably would have been able to get out too. So it was pretty unlucky. I misplayed that too. And it's pretty tilting. And all in all, it was a pretty bad play by me to go in on a 1v3 like that. I could have taken a 1-for-1. Most likely surviving because it is it's a Sivir and an Elise. So they don't have much damage outside of the burst potential. Just gonna zoom up. I really want this Herald. The Herald is a super. I say super. It's a pretty big power spike for Shaco. It adds about 100-200 damage to Shaco's kit, which is pretty good since most of Shaco's strength rely on items instead of his actual base damages. His E doesn't have a really big base damage. Most of my damage comes from Lich Bane and Proto Belt. Just gonna take the Herald. See that I got it. She missed her stun. I used my Proto Belt just for a little bit of poke. I queue up because I think might be someone for me to kill. But just ward off that bush, those two bushes. I try to move around to the back in the case that I can pick off one of the squishies in the back. I wasn't able to get an auto on her. I would have gotten a pretty good amount of damage off on her. Maybe 1/3 of a health if I was able to get that auto off because I have Sheen auto, Sheen Q proc, backstab, and yeah, just a lot of damage that I could have gotten off on her, but I didn't. They're gonna be looking to push mid. We're all pretty low. Most of them are dead, or 2 of them are dead right now, but they're coming up soon. We should all be looking to go back. I should have gone back a little while ago to get that bot wave because I do have TP. A little greediness by me right now to be doing what I'm doing. Somehow I'm able to get the kill off on her. The tower dodge was a little I did a little bit early. I might have been able to to dodge the tower shot and survive that. And then I could have done something off of these boxes that did 1,300 damage to Talon. But unluck, I didn't do the tower shot correctly. I do have TP. It looks like they're going to be going for... they're going to be on top of the Dragon side. Or Baron side. So they might be going on Baron. We are one down. They are one down, though. So maybe not. So I do have TP. I want to be going bot to get that wave pushed while my team sets up Baron Vision. I do want to be splitting mostly now. One thing though, as an AP Shaco, it's really hard to split push because one of Shaco's strengths is having boxes set up. So if your team gets in a team fight, you don't have the same efficiency as just TPing and being ready for that team fight. A lot of tanks have that ease that they could just TP to fight. They're super tanky and they just have to use their abilities to be useful. But as Shaco, you really need to have your boxes set up for a team fight. So a TP because they are going to be going Baron most likely. Their ADC is up. It looks like they can tank it. So explaining the fight. So the Jayce is super low. The Jayce is the one that can super burst me. So I want to take him out first. Control ward won't reveal me, so that's fine. Or doesn't reveal invis, so that's fine. So I take out the Jayce first. I want to back off so I can let Baron take the Elise down a little bit more. Protobot's coming off on CD, and I should be able to get I should have Protobelted her for the kill. So here you see me Q in. She's spell shielded, so I'm gonna wait till that spell shield is off. Have a few more seconds in my invis. So I'm waiting, and now I go on her, and I get the kill. And I pick up 2 kills. Should have been 3 after my team inted. So we ended up looking to do Baron as their teammates were dead. They just spawned. I was kind of iffy on doing this Baron because I would have most likely died, but everyone else was healthy, so they were pretty ready to do Baron. Okay, going further into the game. So Dragon spawned. I'm going to be on top side looking to pull their attention to the top side. This is me being a little greedy. You shouldn't do this. Right now, what I should be doing, I should go back to base and look to be going bottom to take that bot tower. Or I could go top to look to take that top tower while my team is taking bot tower. I have 2,100 gold. I should be going back right now. As I said, I'm being greedy. We'll see what happens off of this though. So I see them all bot. In my head, I'm pretty much thinking they don't care that I'm still top because they don't see me. So I'm gonna go show myself off top lane, low HP. I'm waiting for the Sivir to rotate to the top lane. I think she's going to take the fastest route. That's why I'm sitting on this side right now. The Jasons are going top lane. I'm going to look this so bait off those boxes. That's why I'm continuing to put boxes there. There's a huge bot wave that I should be going take. My team walks up to take the top tower. That bot lane is pretty much pushing. I wanted to go B to take that bot wave, especially since I have no mana. My team ends up fighting. It's pretty much a 4v5 because I'm not able to do anything in this fight. Really bad play on me right here. I'm just being greedy looking for the plays, which I shouldn't be. So my team pretty much fights a 4v5 here. Lucky they're far ahead, so they're able to take the fight and do well. Still looking to put to bait off these boxes. My teammate's going back. Luke's the only one here. The Sivir is going to look to come on me. She's going to walk up to one box. As soon as she hits that box, I'm going to Q on her. Protobot auto. She's dead. I saw 4 boxes up. I want to bait someone else. You see the Talon comes in. Lulu ults me on top of the boxes. And the Talon gets CC'd while on top of the boxes and ends up dying. So gonna go back. TP is coming up soon. The game's about to end because they're tilted from our immaculate play, our great play. Pretty much now the game is just all about finishing it out. They can't really come back, especially since Talon's pretty much a snowballing champion. He wants to get super fed in the early game, and late game he can one-shot anybody. But champions like Elise and Jayce pretty much fall off in the late game. So past 35 minutes, they're pretty much done, and their champions are just more utility for the team. I like to take this inhib while my team is pushing mid. It'll pull people up to top lane while they're taking the mid tower, which is pretty good for the team. We end up walking up to finish off these guys, finish killing them. So that's 4 people down. We're able to take the towers, and it's looking like it's a GG. Gonna finish off the Sivir. Now we're gonna finish off the towers. Waves pushing in. Gonna clear out the wave a little bit, and that's pretty much the Jayce lane. So going back over what I wanted to talk about earlier. So when a ranged champion walks into one of your boxes far away from where you are currently standing, it's pretty good for you to queue into them as they're so as soon as you see them in the vision of the box, you should queue into them, because if they walk into the box, you want to get a box down as soon as they walk into the box, so that the fade time on the box is able to go off, so the box can fear them again as they're being attacked by the other box. This is usually the easiest thing to do against ranged champions in the top lane. Even with champions like Rumble, who have a lot of harass, recently did a video on them. They have a lot of harass, and usually you can do the same thing on Rumble too. As soon as he walks into that box, you queue out of the fog of war onto him. You drop a box where he might be running towards, and they'll get feared by both boxes, taking damage from both boxes. Little things like this can help you get ahead in these difficult lanes. Put out a video yesterday on Renekton. Renekton's one of those champions that you can't really do that against, because he has his enraged Q can pretty much kill your boxes. So you just gotta have knowledge of the enemy champions, the champions that you're gonna be going against, because a lot of champions you're able to go on and kill at certain points, and it just takes time knowing matchups and things like that. And that's why I'm making videos like this, to give you a little insight on the matchups. It's really hard to go into deep detail in matchups like Shaco versus Jayce, just because the matchup is pretty boring, and it's pretty much just a lengthy doing the same thing, like sitting back with your coin and scaling up through levels instead of just gold. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully the audio was better in this video. Hope you guys have a good day, good night, good afternoon, whatever it's for you. Love you guys, and talk to you guys later. Peace.